It went from a dirt road to not a road. It was the desert.
My God.
You were driving
Surprised
over.
you guys weren't sacrificed. That's all my parents want to talk about is when they come out to see me, how much I pay for a chicken. It's their favorite thing. Guys, are we podcasting?
Are we podcasting?
I think we're podcasting. Thanks for joining us at the hashtag IMOMSOHARD podcast. Friendly reminder, if you wouldn't mind rating, reviewing, subscribing to this bad boy. You can see it on the YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. Let's show those young MrBeasters that we got a little skin in this game.
That's right.
I mean, he's on the cover of Time magazine, and he's changing the world.
I love that guy.
I love him so much.
I can't help it. At first, it was like an eye roll. I was like, oh, another YouTuber.
I actually never eye rolled that guy. He always felt different to me, but I eye rolled this other guy who was like, let me show you my $1,000 in cash as I made a slide out of my house. I'm like,
don't encourage my kids to sit in a chair for 4 days of gaming, but that's not what Mr. Beast does.
No, man. He's a good time.
Philanthropist. He's clever. He's kind.
He put in like 100 different wells in Africa so villages have clean water. He paid for 100 kids to have cleft palate surgery. Like he's doing God's work. I'm telling you, Mr. Beast.
He's a good guy.
Mr. Beast. But you know what? We could use. Hey, he's got enough
good
people.
Reviews. He's good. We're
gonna do good.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
we've got almost the exact same numbers as Mr. Beast. So please rate, review, and subscribe.
We're so close, you guys. The only thing we're lacking
is a billion.
The youth, the youthful
vigor,
good looks, the Texas charm, the kindness and selflessness.
You don't know. You don't know. That could come. That could come with large scratch.
See. You know what? Let's see what happens when you throw money at people.
Yeah.
That's when you find out.
You know what it's going to do? They're going to throw it.
Who we are.
They're going to throw it at us, and we're going to throw it at our kids because that's how it works in motherhood. Welcome.
It's so true.
Welcome to my 8-year-old shirt.
Yeah. My kids, if underwear is slightly uncomfortable, they get a whole new set of it. Me, I'm wearing the same stuff I wore. I'm wearing maternity underwear right now.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. It fits me right.
If I get in an accident, they're going to be like, dear God.
No, they're not. They're going to be like, she's a mom.
Yeah.
We can call this one in. She's a mom.
Yeah. Spent all the money on the kids' underwear.
Her bra has holes in it. Her underpants we should never talk about them again. She's a mom.
When you pick your underwear up out of the drawer and you can't figure out which hole your leg goes in, you know that you're using some old stuff.
And you know what? Mind your business, people. Yeah. Mind your business.
What's comfy to me is disgusting to you. And
I don't give a shit. And my husband's happy if I'm wearing them or not wearing them. So it doesn't matter. There you go. Who's sexy? Who's 28 years old?
Contrary, my husband not happy regardless of the situation right now.
Yeah, I was going to say he doesn't care. He just wishes I had a better attitude.
Generally unhappy with me. Yeah.
Fair. I know. I'm having a text war with my husband right now. I'm turning off my phone.
Well, we just got back from out of town. So
it's always re-entry
really
time.
Hard when we're out of town. It's like,
do you know how hard this is? But we did go to Vegas.
Yeah, we did.
Vegas is such an interesting place. And I think you and I have such different perspectives of it because
you've never been married there at one point.
Oh God, we got to talk about that.
No.
That's way more interesting than what I have to say. But what I'm going to say really fast is we did have this really cool experience. We've played in Vegas before. We've played at where were we?
So we were at Treasure Island where they do a Cirque show. And they were like, we're going to have I'm So Hard in for one night. So we're just going to leave the stage the same.
As is. Literally, we went to the dressing room and there were wigs from Cirque du Soleil in the dressing room. There was no room for us. They were like, can you put your bags on the chair? And and we went out and it was a circle stage and there was Cirque du Soleil
and
shit
they were like,
on
don't
the
fall
stage.
in this trap door.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
It's shaped like an egg.
At any point, the stage may move. Just do your dumb kick-up jokes and be done with it. And we were like, okay.
We did it, though.
That was a weird stage. And then we loved playing at the...
Green Valley Ranch?
I would say Hidden Valley Ranch, which is my dressing.
Yeah.
But
and then we had the best time this last weekend at the Westgate.
The Westgate, which if you don't know, right now it's where Barry Manilow does his show. But it is where Elvis Presley did his famous residency. Yeah. I got so much tea from the back of house.
And it was crazy because I just watched Priscilla. I watched Elvis. And the places are in there.
Yes. So the Westgate is in this. Okay. So it's one of those big, tall,
used to be the Hilton.
Famous, big buildings. And on the top it says Westgate in bright yellow lettering.
Yep.
And his like not condo, but his
penthouse
was under the T.
Yeah.
And they have since closed it as a way to like memorialize him.
It's like a block and a half away from the Sphere.
Yeah. And which doesn't look like it should be on planet Earth. It is the most trippy, weird thing, the Sphere.
It's so cool.
So you got, what a weird world. We have the old and we have the new.
Literally,
like that's what Vegas is.
And I also heard about as I was going, so of course, because we really are moms. We really are.
Who's surprised by that?
I think the word is hyphenated. We're moms. We're stand-ups. We're podcasters. We're bitches. And I had to take my hungover ass back to my son's bowling party, and the flights were delayed and stuff. But I did my driver, who they're always like wealths of information.
They're cool,
and also tea, you guys, because they drive everybody around. There's a place I've never heard of that he's like, everybody loves to go there in Vegas, called the Peppermill Restaurant. It's been there for like 70 years or something. It hasn't been updated.
Go.
Like a steakhouse or something like that. And he's like, people love to go to it. But every time you go, there's something new, or there's something new to you.
Yes. And the thing that I think I have started to love about Vegas, because I have a very different perspective now, is like, first of all, I love that we were in this like museum of Elvis. It felt so cool. We were definitely in his dressing room, and there was a bed in it. Weird. And we're evidently a lady of the Anne Margaret. Yeah. Perhaps they canoodled in there. And meanwhile, Jen and I looked at that bed and we were like, that would be nice for a nap. We're those people.
No
but they did have like a piece of the stage that they saved from the original. He did 600. I'm going to say this wrong, but I am pretty close. It was like 670 shows.
Yeah.
Sold out 2 shows a night.
The only person who's ever done it.
Except for Barry Manilow, who will beat it next week.
Oh, really?
Yes, he will beat the number of shows. But his are not doubles a night, I don't think. I think he just does one.
Yeah.
But you wonder why Elvis was pumped full of drugs, amphetamines, and then given barbiturates. It's because he was up, and then he needed to sleep, and then he was up, and then he needed to sleep. But it like that
Once
amount of
that
performance is crazy to me.
Well, they saved this little bit of, it's like about a 3x3 bit of old hardwoods where he used to pray. I mean,
and he would put his hand on his
there's
forehead on his
sweat
arm.
in that wood. They're so
Heck yeah!
smart
I laid down. I was like, give it to me, Elvis.
It feels like a little holy spot. It's really awesome.
It was really awesome, and the theater itself was really lovely. It felt like a sometimes when you go to do casino shows, they all do a really good job, but sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm on a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
They made it feel like they were like, come into our theater.
Like it was special.
This is where Elvis played. You guys get to be where Elvis played. And I was like, I'm gonna cry. This is so cool.
Well,
and our bed in the hotel was black tufted leather, and there was a hot tub in the middle of the room.
Yeah, that very Vegas-y. Yeah,
I got
Kristin
right in
kept
it.
trying to get me to come down to her room, and I was like, "Why do I hear bubbles in the background? I'm
Don't bring a suit.
Before.
I've got one for you."
Yeah,
it was great. Filled it full of bubbles.
Well, so I was talking to some of my Bellevue girls that I grew up with, and they were like, "Let's go see Air Supply," and I was like,
"Wait."
So,
this weekend?
Well, no. So we were talking about like doing a girls' trip or something like that, which I'll get back to the Vegas part of it. Maybe very soon, as you will see. So they were talking about, we also have played the MGM out at in Maryland, in DC.
Oh, yeah.
We love that place.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, so Air Supply is going to be there, but it's the day after Thanksgiving. And I'm like, sorry, guys, I'm going to have 30 people over, I'm sure. So I would have to leave like the next morning at the earliest. I don't know if I can get to Jersey or
that's
DC
fast.
or wherever it is that fast. So I went on the website to look and see where Air Supply is playing. And June 1st, they're going to be at the Westgate.
Oh.
So I'm going to message them and be like,
hey, remember us? They said.
They did say, come back if you want to see some shows. So I'm going to see if they'll get us some Air Supply tickets.
Well, we should probably say while we were in Vegas, we were burying the lead here a little bit. Jen and I did go see Magic Mike for a second time in Vegas.
We did.
And here's what I'll say about Magic Mike. First of all, and I don't know if anybody would find this hard to believe or easy to believe, but I get real weird with dancing men. with no clothes on. I'm not one of those.
Clothes on, though.
They do have clothes on. I'm not one of those people that like comes alive when like there's a like gyrating man next to me. I become like a real weird, shy weirdo. But I love what those shows, in particular, what Magic Mike.
Have you guys seen that movie called Frozen? Where when she gets really scared or stressed out, she like
freezes.
Yeah. So Kristin was up on stage.
Oh my God, that's so terrible! I was not prepared. I did not have any.
One entire side of the room was like frozen in ice from Kristin's very strong vibe that she was putting out there. I felt awkward for the guy. I was like, I'll talk to him afterwards. She was like whispering to him, and
I was like, he's like,
not touching. There was no touching that happened. There was no gyrating that happened. I thought she was nodding her head and holding her hands like in
I almost
front of
need
her.
to post the video because it does look like I'm being like strip searched. There's nothing sexual about it. Like,
no.
I am all business. My posture is like, I am going to, because if I can't be funny and I have to be up there and sort of lean into being sexy, do you want to see me like turn inside out?
Well,
I'm
that didn't
dying
happen.
right now
it
talking
didn't
about
happen.
it.
It honestly, what I thought I could maybe even hear was him saying like, ma'am, have you handled any explosives? Did you pack your bags yourself? I don't want to do this any more than you want to do this. Can you hold your arm straight out to your
I've
side?
been touched more by a TSA agent than the stripper and Magic Mike. And I mean dancer. But I have to say, I don't want to talk about me being on stage. It's so embarrassing. But I really think the show is really cool. And I think what it does for
like
women.
a Broadway show.
You think it's going to be something, and then it turns it on its side. It's definitely R-rated, but it's not the kind of R-rated that you think it is. It's not. They don't get nude.
No.
They're literally legit excellent dancers.
They do flips. They
are
silks,
singers.
They do trapeze. They do like
they kind of like lean into like genres of.
Oh, they tap dance too.
They tap dance. They're percussionists. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
The women have a good time. We've been before, so sort of for me, the second time I was like, I know what to expect. It's not going to be.
Yeah.
It was totally fine. I highly recommend if you've got a group of girls and that's your thing, go, because for me it's one dance that literally I'm like, night is made, and it's the one dance that has a woman in it. Not because I'm.
Thing. I mean, and I think this time,
and yes, she's very attractive.
It's different than the first time we saw it, but I think that they did say, or maybe I had 1/16 as much to drink as the first time I went to it.
Yeah.
But I remember them saying this time, like, oh, we know what women really want and what women really find erotic. And it's not like the fireman dirty dance with the hose thing, you know? Like, it's this, I described it to my husband, who's like, how many times are you going to go to Magic Mike? I described it to him as, I go, it's like, because in Paris, we saw Moulin Rouge.
That's cool.
It's like
that's
Moulin
my
Rouge,
jam.
but there's no nudity.
Right.
It's like.
My husband's like, he's so, he knows. Like, he would be more concerned if I went to an HVAC conference than if I went to Magic Mike.
Guys
he's
in
like,
tool belts,
he's like, I know you got weird. And I was like, no, I didn't. He's like, you didn't get weird. I go, I got weird.
I suspect there were a couple dancers that put in their 2 weeks notice after we were there, because it was.
I don't know. We were just, first of all, we were working. We were trying to get our script done, and but what I try to do is like take a moment to look around, and I looked at all these women, and they're like bachelorette parties, birthday parties, girls' nights out, and anybody who is creating an environment like us to have that, I'm for it. I'll support it. And I have to say, big shout out to this woman.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
She's my favorite.
Hero. Yeah.
So we're sitting at this table, and all these men that are just like ripped are dancing, and they're dancing, and it's really cool. They're like good dancers. And we look back. This is like the first number of the night. This woman stands up as though to say, I'm going to stand up and dance with my natural light in one hand and do the like mom sway for the entire
time.
show. And then she walked out as like, you know what? I'm probably going to go to another show, and I'm going to stand and dance for that one too.
Never took a seat. The girl she was with didn't really feel like standing up.
Nobody talked to her. She just stood there by herself in her own happiness.
If I can, the only thing that would make that place better would be like a heavy light menu, like a loaded potato skin sort
I know,
of
but
thing.
They made me panic. They were like, you guys have to move everything off the top of your table. And I was like,
they do come
God,
and
why?
they stand up there So, which is, yeah.
They were like,
Yeah, very close to Kristin's face. She was...
it's fine. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I was so weird. I'm so weird about those things. This is why my husband's like, I'm not worried. I'm like, you're not worried a little bit? And he's
was
like,
do you want to build a snowman? Ride our bikes around the hall. You guys, I'm not a good planner. I'm sure that's not a shock to anybody. I see people meal prepping, meal planning, and I can't do it. Except now I can. I found the perfect way to meal prep. And guess what? I don't get overwhelmed by this way. I have a really good time. So this podcast is sponsored by Marley Spoon, and I'm genuinely excited about this because it's helping me fast track my way to eating well without the stress. And with our code, MOMSOHARD, you can get up to 26 free meals, moms. You got to get in on this. And you know how there are nights where you need your meal done like yesterday because you've got piano practice and a game and rehearsal and Zern, math homework, all that stuff. Marley Spoon's new 15-minute express recipes are exactly what they sound like. They're convenient, they're delicious, and they're on the table in minutes. You'll find these on every weekly menu, and if you've got a few extra minutes, they've got some great 20-minute options too. My personal favorite hack, their sheet pan dinners. Literally throw everything on one pan and boom, you're done. You're the hero, moms. Same with their tray bakes that even include the tray. My very most favorite recent meal that I've gotten from Marley Spoon is their crispy chicken sandwich. You guys, crispy is so hard to do at home. I don't know how I was able to pull this up, but with Marley Spoon, I made these delicious crispy chicken sandwiches. If you're really in a hurry, Marley Spoon also has delicious ready-to-heat meals. These are lifesavers when I really don't feel like cooking, and it's more often than not, I'll tell you. I love Marley Spoon. Thank you for making it easy and making me provide healthy, delicious meals for my family and making me look like a hero. You guys make me look like I meal prep. This spring, fast track your way to eating well with Marley Spoon. Head to marleyspoon.com/offer/momsohard and use code MOMSOHARD for up to 26 free meals. Get it, girls? That's right, up to 26 free meals with Marley Spoon. One last time, that's marleyspoon.com/offer/momsohard for up to 26 free meals. And make sure you use our promo code MOMSOHARD so they know that we sent you. Marley Spoon, MarleySpoon. But then, okay, this was a little bit of heaven too. Our good friend Brett was in town.
Brett
and
Marlene.
He goes, hey, I have a friend who's turning 40.
And he's going to be at a club. And we're like, we're going to go to the club.
But I had no idea how good the music would be.
Well,
at that
you're
nightclub.
missing the one step to the equation that I think was the thing that really made the night. Is my friend Mia and her friend Corinne were in, and they go, we went to this really awesome place at, I can't remember what, I can't remember, the Venetian, that was like cool and chill and like people our age and really good music. And I was like, what does that mean?
Well, I will tell you, if you want to know what age group, I did take pictures of the bookshelves and send them to a friend as a possible design idea.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they're Art Deco, beautiful, sexy, like loungy. And you know what? She wasn't wrong. I walked in and I was like, oh, I like what you mean by our age. It means like, if I dare say, like a little fucking sophisticated, like sexy. Like everybody was like in these beautiful chairs and everybody looked good. And it was like not too like good
booze. Like not booze that just gets you hammered, like booze that tastes good.
Good. Like a good martini and really good.
I had one of those spicy margaritas with like
the cucumber
and jalapenos in it. It was so good.
It was such a treat. So we started there. I had a martini and a half. So my dancing wheels were ready. I was lit up.
Yeah.
I was popping and locking.
She was in her zone.
I was in my zone.
And you know who else was? This random
Corinne.
Oh,
yeah, the table next to us.
It was so, they like came over. They're like, oh, you're going to get low? Well, we'll join in with you too.
And I was like, and it was guys, what school district are you guys
by
in?
Bookshelves.
Yeah.
Very elegant, nice painted blue bookshelves.
We all
funky, you guys.
We all had our moment.
Yeah.
And the thing that I loved about it is like immediately that set the tone of what I wanted the rest of the night to be like, which was all I wanted to do was go dancing. It's what I love it. I don't want to worry about what I look like. I don't want to worry about my age. I don't want to worry about what time it is. I don't want to worry about what I'm eating. I want to go fucking dance. I want to go let go and let loose and go dance.
Yes.
And it was exactly that. So by the time we went to the place where Brett was, which was like a 90s, like it was just a really good, like
it was sort of all the pop dance hits from the last
20 years.
That you want, that you know the words to, that you hear the beat and you just go,
you're like going to go sit down and then they start playing get low, get low.
I guess I can't sit down.
I'm back. And like, here's how you know you have a good night. Literally, as I was leaving, I was like, Sherry, it was so nice to meet you. I've got to go. And like, I was like high-fiving women as I left. I got home at 2 a.m., y'all.
Wasn't it later than that?
No, because my body died at 1:30.
I was
like literally on a bar stool, and I was like, "You guys, my right hip's burning, and I think I got my."
I went to our friend and I go, "Don't worry about me. I'll text you when I get to the hotel." But I am so tired right now.
Yeah.
That's how I knew how tired I was. We got there. All they had at that one bar was the one margarita.
Yeah,
and then I got a can of beer because I was like, it was a nice.
She's like, I missed the Westgate.
I know, and I walked out onto the dance floor and I dropped it and I was like, I'm going home.
Yeah.
I was so like tired because I'd been sick the week before and I was like, but I did dance a little bit, but then I was like, I'm going to go back to the hotel. And it was weird. It was so hard to get a cab.
By the way, the winds were like legit. They delayed our flights. They were the winds were so strong that mattresses from the pool areas were like flying through the air. Like literally palm trees were like bending in half. It was no bullshit. It's not like wind. It was like next level.
Yeah, it was like crazy. Like everything was like blown over. There were whole like signs and stuff that like street signs that were blown over. But I couldn't get a cab. I couldn't figure it out. And then I managed like to walk next door to get one, and it was because Madonna was at our hotel at the
Which
MGM
I'm going to
Park.
this weekend. What's up?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
What? You didn't tell me this.
I told you 6 months ago.
Oh, there's no way I'll rember that.
Yes.
a lot of people are going. It's going to be fun.
I know. If she shows up on time, nothing pisses me
No,
off more.
she's
She's
gonna be
notoriously 3 hours late.
She's
It
late.
makes me mad.
She's late to every show.
I don't like that. Dear Madonna.
Yeah.
I do. Per my request for a ticket to your establishment, I do not appreciate that you are 3 hours late. Do you want to build a snowman?
Her Yelp reviews are going to shit the bed.
Oh,
Madonna, you just have...
Don't fucking be 3 hours late and be 65. We know you're not having an easy time of things.
None of us are 25 anymore.
Yeah, especially you, Madonna.
Yeah, so let's like know your audience and know that we need to get to bed at a
3 hours
reasonable
late.
time. Right?
You're fired. But then I'll just stay because I'm mad and I already bought the ticket.
Here's what I love. Some gay guys sued her for coming on.
I know.
I fucking love it.
Thank you.
Right?
Don't mess with the gays. They'll come at you. They support, like, come on now. They're buying the best tickets.
They bought
They're
VIP
dressing up.
meet and
Fuck
greet
yes,
and all
they
that
did.
stuff. You make them
and
wait
her
3
merch.
Yeah. And then you got to stand there and you got to buy drinks that are like $22 for a single drink at those like arenas and stuff. There's no way.
That's why I like going to shows at the Westgate.
That's right.
You walk in, get your drink.
Fine. That's what you want. I'm going to Air Supply.
Air Supply, great. It's going to be so fun.
Fun. Yeah, but I do love, I've always been a Vegas person. I've probably gone 20 sometimes.
Really?
I do. Yeah, I love it. But it is like what I like to do there now is so different. Like it used to be like going to bed at 5 a.m. Like every time I was in Vegas, like I would be back when the sun was coming up.
I hated Vegas.
It's so interesting.
I hated it. I never felt like I had the right clothes. I didn't like techno music. I felt like out of place. And like, I do love to play blackjack. So sometimes I would just sit there for like 12 hours. Fair. That's fine. Yeah. I did not enjoy it. But then let me just go real off the rails about Vegas. I ran a half marathon in Vegas at night on the Strip. And it went from New Vegas to Old Vegas and back around. And every 2 miles, they had a live music venue playing.
Gosh, how fun.
So you would just like be dying as you were running, but you're like, okay, I can hear somebody playing Cyndi Lauper. And then like you would go up and around the thing. And I really, because I had to go to Vegas with kind of a different like gaze. Like it wasn't about boozing because you were going to run 15 miles. It was so fun. And I was like, I think Vegas is changing for me. This is after I had Finn.
Yeah.
So then since we've been doing shows there, it's so different. And then my husband and I went there because I was like, we went to our friend's weird magician show.
Partially nude, right?
No, I think he wanted to be partially nude. Not my husband, the guy that was running the show. You know, that weirdo. He was like, we were like.
No, the performer, not the audience.
I was like, dude, we can see we know how the tricks are working.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was not great. But we went and it was kind of a weekend away and we got a hotel room at the Venetian and we got to bed and ate meatball subs in bed at 9 p.m. and then got up at
now
7
you're
a.m.
talking dirty. I know.
7 a.m. walked around Vegas. Guess who's not up in Vegas? Anybody at 7 a.m. So we were like first ones into the wax museum.
Well, that's what I mean. Some of them are still up from the night before.
Yeah, they're
but
like
nobody's
doing lines of coke as they try to find their freaking hotel rooms, but
been
they're
3
holding
days.
their
I haven't
shoes
slept.
and they
Yeah.
can't find their underpants. I'm like, ma'am, I've got a second pair of Feline super coverage in my bag. Would you like these? Like, I've got my tennis shoes and my aerosol tennis shoes on.
Which hole does my leg go into?
Yeah, you can't. You don't know. You
well,
don't
then
know.
You can't have them, lady.
Right.
It's not for you to judge.
But the pool and stuff in Vegas, like all that kind of made me feel
that stuff.
I know. I felt self-conscious and I felt like, I don't know, it just wasn't my thing. And I did have a couple girl trips in my 20s with like Allie that were really fun. But at the end of the day, it wasn't Vegas that made it fun. It was the girls. And I think
Totally. It's who you go with. Because
it's who you go with.
The wrong people and it can really suck. It can be like,
I didn't really go that much in my 20s. I haven't been all that many times, but every time I went, I was like, fucking hate it. But I did one time have to meet some girls in Vegas. And so this bartender that I worked with who...
Oh God, I think I know that.
Dirty Uncle Frank,
Yep.
he dabbled in... not porn, but not porn. It was like Skinamax.
Okay.
And
like more soft core.
He would wear a sock. And he would tell me all about it because he was a bartender friend of mine. God bless him.
Wait, on his people?
Like bikini. Yeah. No, on his feet, Jen. Why would I be embarrassed to say...
Well, was he married? Is he doing married person porn? Sometimes you end up with one sock on. You don't know how it happened.
You need it. You need one off for traction.
I don't understand. So it was fake.
It was like fake simulated like Bikini Airways kind of thing.
I don't want to sock.
God, he's gonna be so proud of hearing his IMDb on this podcast. But God bless him. He's like, hey, Kristin, I gotta go to Vegas to be part of a 3-way. Do you want to ride with me to Vegas? And I'm like, literally, my face is like bright red, and I'm like, he goes, hey, look, I'm driving. It'd be nice to have someone help me.
Was this a paid gig or was it?
No,
like
he was my bartender friend who was going to Vegas, and I was meeting friends in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
You just needed the ride, and
I needed the ride.
Money.
No, he was gonna let me ride with him because he didn't want to fall asleep.
Hell yeah, he was. There's no way that guy's gonna say no to you.
So then, of course, all my other friends are like, "Oh, he's gonna ask for like,
yeah, he is
road sex," and I was like, "No, he's not." So we got in his car, and I was like, "All these people are judging him because he's a little bit like that." And we get in, and he goes, "Can we quick pray before we drive?" And I go, "Seriously?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "God, protect us while we drive. Make sure we don't hit any accidents, whatever." And then I was like, I think I had you all wrong, sir. I prejudged you because of some of your sexual proclivities.
Isn't that just being Catholic, though?
Yeah,
you just say sorry
you just,
before and after, and then you're fine to do it.
That's
right?
exactly right. That's exactly right. So then, oh man, this gets so R-rated. Nothing happens on the drive. He's so nice. We have this great chat. It's so like PG because, and by the way, I'm doing everything to stay awake because it's like a 6-hour drive and we left at like 2 a.m. So I'm like, which is not my favorite.
It shouldn't be 6 hours, but you hit traffic going to Vegas.
You always hit traffic.
LA. Yeah.
So I'm like, my eyes are like, I'm like so tired. And he's like talking about how he wants to like redo his apartment. Like it's the least scantily clad or what do you call it? Sexy conversation you can imagine. And then he's like, I shouldn't tell this part.
Oh God, now you have to tell this part.
I might have to cut this out. He's like, can we pray? And I go, sure. And he's like, dear God, thank you for getting us to Las Vegas safely with no accidents and no whatever. Like he had done this like prayer clearly before. And then he helped me bring my suitcase out of the back of his car and he put it out. And I noticed he had like 2 cases of pineapple juice in the back of his car. And I go,
No, no. Everyone knows why he has that, Kristin. No,
I'm sorry for my life in my 20s.
But I also love that Kristin was like, what do you have that for? That's a real healthy drink to have.
I had no idea. So many cases of it. I was like, hey, are you guys making like Malibu rums or something? What do you got going on? And I asked the question and he just told me the answer. And I was like,
well, what a gentleman.
Thank you. I'm going to go into the Luxor now and
wash my
body to have another weekend of sin. Thank you.
Man. Well, that honestly, I mean, that's the kind of person you go to Vegas with that kind of sullies the experience a little bit. Because I'm like, look, all I want to do is like wear a short skirt that I can't get away with wearing just, around any place else but Vegas.
Yeah.
I want it like it's the condensed where they have the best restaurants like on the West Coast. It's like
now it is, because when in my 20s I didn't give a shit about that. But now I give a shit about that.
Yeah.
I wasn't good at Vegas. I wasn't good at it.
I liked it. Like, that'd be like, you'd go with a bunch of girls and then like, that'd be your one expensive thing was like a good meal. Like I remember going with girls to, Ashton Kutcher had this restaurant and nightclub. Like we got a reservation like months in advance and went to the restaurant, and then we went to Dow or whatever nightclub it was, and like it was so fun. But like my husband and I used to go, and
which
Kristin, I only have one husband I'll admit to, and that's who I'm talking about right now.
I'm just saying.
Did I tell you that time when we got stuck in Vegas traffic? So we're coming back on a Sunday, and you're just stopped on the freeway. Like
it's
highway.
hard. I hate driving. It's such a ugh.
This was like before you had like navigation on your phone and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, look at those people. They're like driving off the highway, like into the dirt. Let's follow them. It feels like they might know where they're going. So we followed. He had like a Toyota FJ, like
the one that looks like a Lego car.
Yeah, totally looks like a kid's car. So he's like, all right, well, so it's not going to slow us down any. It's the right direction at least. So we get off the highway and we follow these cars. We literally like go through this like. At this point, it's kind of a road. It's like a dirt road, but it goes like under these old train tracks, and there's like broken strollers, like literally the place you would go to die if you were like in a murder movie or something like that.
Oh, no.
But it was like Sunday afternoon when we were doing it. And so we come out from under the railroad tracks, and there's like this turnaround point, and some cars are turning around to go the other way. And this guy gets out, and I don't know, he came straight from like the early 80s, and like it was like a Eldorado or something, the longest car you've ever seen in your life. He gets out of the car and he makes eye contact with Britt and he goes, follow me. And he like waves his arm, and Britt looks at me. He's like, should we do it? And I go,
you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he
like
knows.
that guy knows.
We're in a 4x4, like jostling through just dirt, like shrub brushes, like dried tumbleweeds are like blowing by. It was like this Eldorado, of like he was going so fast too. You guys kept like bottoming out.
Is it an off road from the main route?
It went from a dirt road to not a road. It was the desert.
My
like
God.
You were driving
Surprised
over
you guys weren't sacrificed.
Huge rocks. If it had been nighttime, I'd have been like, nope, let's just wait in traffic. But it was like we were together. You know, I wouldn't do it by myself. But we were like, so we followed, and the guy seemed like nice enough. And he was just like this traffic angel from Las Vegas. And we follow him, and I'm like, where the hell are we going? Drops us off in the middle of the parking lot in the Prim Outlets. I swear to God, he gets out of the car, he waves to us, and we wave back.
I love Prim.
And then he drove off into the distance, maybe to a Foot Locker, I don't know, and just freaking left our lives forever.
Is that when you went to Williams-Sonoma outlet? Or is that when you went to...
Different time. I went into Williams-Sonoma. Everything was 80% off, you guys. And we're like closing down. It was incredible. Yeah. But that's my second favorite Vegas story.
Prim is... if you've never been, you need to go to Vegas and find yourself in Prim. You've done something wrong. If you're in Prim, you've made a decision to be there for one reason or the other. So you're either shopping or gambling, but you're sitting next to somebody who's seen shit.
Nobody's had an easy day in
Nobody's
Prim.
had easy day in Prim. They're playing with their paycheck. You know what I mean?
I will gladly go downtown Los Angeles to buy stuff. Many people will not. If I decide to go to the Prim Outlets, it's going to be 80% off. outlet prices.
Yeah, it's going to be like you prepare mentally and physically to go to Prim. You're like, someone's going to jump me and it's fine. I'm going to try to take my Dutch oven from.
I wasn't sad when I entered this mall, but now nothing feels worth it anymore.
Nothing feels good.
Except I did when they had that Williams-Sonoma sale, though, you guys. I spent $400. I calculated I got damn near 10 grand and stuff.
My God.
If we're talking MSRP, though, I mean, that was worth it. My husband was like, I'm going to start the car and just idle it outside. Just in case.
The guy's like, follow me. Follow me.
He really did cut probably 2 or 3 hours off of our trip following him through the desert, though.
I think this trip to Vegas kind of sealed the deal for me that I have a new love for Vegas that I kind of didn't know that I had, because I now know what I want when I go there, which is I'd love to see a show of some sort. That kind of doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
And then I loved that we went to a lounge thing that felt really cool. And when we went to Delilah, the restaurant Delilah, which is the most beautiful place I've ever been to, and so good. And that was such a treat because we took out our team for dinner because we had been on tour and it had been a rough tour,
a lot of work,
and we were like, let's go get dressed up. That's the other time I wore the same shirt in Vegas the last time, because you know me, I'm a repeat wearer, and I now know what I would want from Vegas, so I think I know how to win Vegas.
Well, that's the thing is my husband doesn't like Vegas, and sometimes even this last time we went, he's like, ugh. He just thinks it's this.
Colin doesn't like. My husband doesn't like Vegas either.
And I'm like, man, I don't know who you went to Vegas with before, but maybe don't go with seasoned criminals or something, because I don't see the shady side of Vegas. All I see is beautiful, wonderful shopping. I see awesome restaurants.
I see the shady side of Vegas, and I don't know how I get. Well,
I like a $5 table, so I will go downtown. I'm telling you guys, I'm not scared
I will
to save money.
That it was nice to go into the Venetian and wherever we were. I think we kind of traveled between those fancy. I like the way that feels. It feels cool and high end, and you're there for a night. You're playing pretend, by the way.
You are, and that was the thing I was going to say. Most of the time in life, you don't get to wear a sequined outfit because you don't go to red carpets, or you don't you don't get an opportunity unless it's literally a costume party. But in Vegas, you can get. I mean, you could wear a ball gown and somebody probably just thinks you got married. It doesn't matter. But you can dress as fancy and as fun and as sexy as you want to.
Wear a booby shirt. I didn't. I wore a halter because I think they're more flattering on me. But I did wear nipple covers, and I was fully dancing.
Yep.
Unassisted.
She didn't lose a cutlet.
I did fall asleep with them on. And to take them off the next day.
It's appeal. Yeah.
And also I would like to say, who are we making those for? That was not enough.
You get extra small or something.
Well, I was like, these are delightful. Yeah. I need 2 of these.
Yeah, don't go cheap on nipple covers.
I was like, we got other sizes.
Loves a bargain. It will rip your nipple right off when you go to take.
I know. I was like,
you will, don't go cheap.
Hey man, it's still nice to know I got it, man. It's still nice to know that I got home and I woke up and I was a little bit hungover, but more than anything, I was sore. My body was sore, and I was like, this is worth the price of admission. This is worth me being tired, and my fake ass eyelash that I had on was stuck to the top of my eyebrow, and I was like, I'll take it. This is a win. I had such a good time.
That's what I love about it, is that everybody's there just for the sake of having a good time.
It's a little bit, what do you call it when it's not when it's everybody's out hedonist. They're like, I'm going to get what I want from this place. Is that the right word?
Hedonism, that resort where everybody swings, where Uncle Frank, your Uncle Frank.
No, that's where he went. It's a club he invited me to, and I was like, no, thank you.
I mean, I'm sure
swinging doors. I don't know.
They probably have a lot of those places if you want them, but you need to find them. You're not going to accidentally go into one of those clubs.
It's definitely a place you should make yourself. You should know what makes you happy and go do that in Vegas.
But go with I love to go with my husband because we get to feel like we're on a young, sexy date. You can just walk from place to place, from restaurant to nightclub. You can take the tram, or you can just do it all in one night. It's really fun. Or you can go with a bunch of girls. And what I loved is there's a nightclub for you where you don't feel like you're the old people, or you're like we're dressed too down for this. You like, I wore my sneakers and I was dancing at the nightclub because I was tired from wearing my heels.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was a delightful time, and it was reminded me of like that, like it is good to get out and just to be rowdy and to like not. Everybody needs a night out, whatever that means for you, that feels like good ass fun.
Yeah.
Let your hair down, get your groove on, go have some fun, don't give a shit. And like, it's all that matters. Cause really at the end of the day, the thing that's different is like, now that I'm married and I'm older, I'm not going to Vegas to gain the attention of men or dudes or finding a guy. You know what I mean? It's just different. It's like, not that I think that's what everybody goes out, but there is definitely, when you're single and you're in your 20s, a different vibe. You're like, let's go where all the guys are. Let's go, there's like a sexy thing.
Yeah.
And this, I was like, let me fucking get my dance on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my arms were pumping. I didn't give a shit.
Well, it's funny because when I used to go to Vegas when I was younger, the only thing really that I would ever worry about was how much money I spent, or that I had enough cash to literally get home. Like, can I pay for gas to get back, or whatever it is? Like the cab to get to the airport, or if, it was LA to get back there, like that kind of thing. And now, because I feel like this is very singular to like moms and parents, is you're always worried about, well, what do I have tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like, I really can't go out and stay that late because I still have to like get up.
Yeah.
And we have lacrosse in the morning or whatever it is.
But
like,
I didn't.
But you go to Vegas, and then that's the one time you can put
have
all
to
those
worry about
worries
that next
aside.
day.
Yeah. And you're like, unless you have some like a gambling problem or drinking problem, it's not the place for you. But otherwise, you can go there and you don't really need to worry about anything else.
No.
I'm going to take $250 out. I'm going to play the pennies as long as that'll get me. And that's all I need.
Yeah, it was super fun. I think in my 20s, I remember my friend invited me to Vegas, worst trip ever. And she wore a dress that looked like she took it out of like a pillbox. It was so small and so short.
This was not me.
At one point, they asked if we were professionals. And I was not dressed like that. I was like, you must think I'm her bouncer. Because like... I'm still wearing a popped collar.
You don't see those guys that are giving you the cards with where you can pick member. It must be all online now. It used to be in Vegas. There was a guy, and he would like slap his hand, and he had a pamphlet where you would go in and pick the girl and call the girl to come to your hotel room.
What?
Yeah, they would just stand outside of the hotels, and they'd slap the pamphlets and hand you one.
And for prostitutes?
For prostitutes, yeah, because it's legal there.
It is?
Well, outside the city limits, but still, it's legal there. It's legal there. But that was like one of the seedy things. They don't have that anymore. I don't know what the difference is.
Must be a QR code.
It's got to be all online.
Like,
I don't know. But you don't see that. You used to see like the billboards for prostitutes too. And so it made it seem like very seedy, but you don't see that. Now you just see like a Gucci billboard or something like that.
God bless. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to learn how to play Texas Hold'em, and Vegas is going to mean something different to me. I think I got it. I think I got what it takes.
If I'm going to spend $1,000 for a night of pleasure, it's going to be a little bit of penny slots, and then I'm going to go buy something after I have too many drinks at that Caesar's Palace Mall,
I know.
man, the Forum Shops.
Jen did that to me. I was like,
I'm still going to regret it. I'm going to still feel dirty for it, but I'm still going to be married. You know, that's Vegas
Texas
now.
Hold'em. They'll be like, get her away from the table. She's got her mortgage on the line. I've got it. I don't have a tell. Can you tell I've got good cards?
She has all the tells. She's like, ma'am, you're freezing everybody.
Yeah. Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah.
Hello.
We take it you don't have a good hand now, ma'am. We can. Yeah.
Oh, it was so weird
back
on that
away
scene.
from the table.
The poor French guy was like, do you speak French? I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, there was a French guy at Magic Mike?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm married. And he's like this. Yeah.
Christine was like, let's talk about
I was like,
your trade school for you, sir. Do you like what you're doing? Would you like to improve your life? What about getting into small
Jen
machine
was like,
repair?
what were you talking about? You were talking the whole...
What you want is something with benefits, because you want to start now with the 401k. A little bit adds up to a whole lot more later, and you're going to thank yourself when you're in your 40s. You trust me. And he was like, ma'am,
he put
no
his
one
pants
in
on.
this
He was like,
block
I'm
has a boner
quitting.
anymore. It's all gone away. The women whose birthdays it is have left and gone someplace else. Take your friend that snuck in the loaded potato skins too. She's out of here also. It's against health code.
Don't invite us anywhere. We're not to be trusted. Oh.
Can I do a hot flash for Barry Manilow, please?
Hell yes.
Hot flash, hot flash. Hot flash. He was not performing the week. Because we were, and he started the next week. And I got to tell you, I've loved Barry Manilow since I was a little kid.
So is your mom.
Oh my God.
She loves herself a Barry.
My mom would forsake any person or religion for Barry. But
what if
I
you
don't know.
invited her
Is
to go
Barry
see?
into it? You know what? She might go. She might go for Barry.
She'd go for Barry. She'd be like, does Jen have to come? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I would rather. Can you go play penny slots while I enjoy Barry?
All right, I'm
'Cause I
here.
wanna
You
enjoy
go.
Barry.
You go play your. I'm gonna go in here. You go over there. We'll meet up later.
But I mean, he's breaking Elvis's.
He's breaking
record,
Elvis's record this
so-
week. That guy's 82 years old.
You
and
know
is
that's
playing,
a good show. You've played that many shows. That's a good freaking show.
He's got to be damn near 680 shows. If I'm
And he's 80.
82. He's 82. It's cool, man. There's just some shit that's like really like, you know, in the US, there is no place. I don't think there's any place in the world like Vegas. Vegas is in its own thing, and it is really something to experience. I think it's a really weird, cool place.
All Kristin and I want to do is retire in Vegas as failed comics as
No, not failed.
Well,
successful.
what some might see as failure, where we just play a room, even if it's in a Keno bar.
What are you
On
talking
the
about? We're going to
regular.
have a residency at the Westgate. We have made it happen with this podcast. We're going to
my
go
God.
up
Hand to God, please,
four nights a
please.
week. We're going to roll in our freaking
Yeah.
fancy ass cars.
Yeah.
I'll live at the Westgate. Are you kidding? I'm fine. Hi, kids and grandkids, take the elevator up. I'm under the E. Thanks.
Come over to her room. She has lots of bath parties.
We have a hot tub. Yeah, you better believe it. I'll be wearing head to toe leather. It's going to get weird and it's going to be awesome. But I'm not going back to Magic Mike.
No,
Did we podcast?
I think so.